What is up, guys? Namaste, Namaskaram. I'm Jim, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're going to check why Taliban loves India but hates Pakistan. This is going to be crazy. It's one of those topics, that might be sensitive. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Let's get it.
On October 22nd, 2025, the streets of Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh, buzzed with excitement. Afghanistan's foreign minister, representing the Taliban government, arrived in India for a historic 6-day visit.
And Afghan Taliban Foreign Minister Amir Khan he has arrived in India, marking the first official
Just
ministerial
this
visit
year.
from Kabul to New Delhi.
His destination? The iconic Deoband Madrasa, a place deeply tied to Afghanistan's cultural and ideological roots. Crowds gathered, waving warmly, as India welcomed the Afghan minister with open arms.
That's a lot of people, bro.
This wasn't just a diplomatic visit, it was a powerful moment symbolizing the deep bond between India and Afghanistan. When Indian officials visit Kabul, they receive the same warm hospitality,
Well, this is the first time we've seen Indian diplomats traveling to Kabul.
a sign of mutual respect and friendship.
Dr. Jaishankar.
Meanwhile, across the border, Pakistan was outraged. Their leaders in media cried out, "We are one ummah." Why does Afghanistan side with India instead of us? When the Taliban took power in 2021, Pakistan celebrated. Their then Prime Minister Imran Khan declared, "The Taliban have broken the chains of slavery."
जो अभी अफगानिस्तान में गुलामी की जंजीरें तो तोड़ दी उन्होंने
But their
Okay.
joy was short-lived.
Okay.
Afghanistan's cricket board cancelled matches with Pakistan, and the Taliban openly leaned toward India. In the Indian subcontinent, Pakistan found itself isolated, watching its neighbors grow closer while it stood alone. So why is this happening? What historical forces shape this divide? India's intelligence agency, RAW, played a quiet but powerful role in winning over the modern Taliban. Meanwhile, Pakistan's actions over decades pushed Afghanistan away. In this video, we'll dive into the history to uncover why the Taliban loves India and why they hate Pakistan, from ideological battles to cultural ties. In this video, we'll dive into these questions. Before starting the video, a humble request for you guys. It's very hurtful to see that 93% of our audience didn't subscribe to our channel. If you're enjoying our content, please like and subscribe to our channel so YouTube recommends this video to more people. Why does the Taliban love India? To understand this, we need to travel back in time and explore the deep historical, cultural, and ideological connections between India and Afghanistan. Let's start with the Deobandi connection. Afghanistan society is made up of 4 main groups: Pashtuns, Tajiks, Uzbeks, and Hazaras. Pashtuns, the largest group, are mostly Sunni Muslims and dominate the country's culture and politics. The Taliban, largely Pashtun, draws its ideology from the
course, yeah.
Deobandi school of Islam, which began in India in 1866 at the Deoband Madrasa in Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh. This madrasa was founded to preserve Islamic values and promote ethical living during British rule in India. It taught Muslims to reflect on their faith and live with purpose, not to fight or rebel violently. Afghan Pashtuns, even centuries ago, weren't always Muslim. Before the 7th century, they followed Sanatani, Hindu, and Buddhist traditions, blended with their tribal Pashtunwali code, a set of rules about honor, hospitality,
Wow.
and justice. When Islam arrived through the Umayyad Caliphate, Pashtuns converted gradually, but kept their Pashtunwali code, which echoed Vedic and Buddhist values. This blend made Afghan Islam unique, flexible, and open to diverse influences. The Deobandi movement resonated with Afghan Pashtuns because it didn't demand they abandon their Pashtunwali code. Instead, it encouraged introspection and ethical living, aligning with their values. Over time, Afghan scholars and students called Talibs traveled to India's Deoband Madrasa to study. The term Taliban simply means a group of these students, rooted in the Indian Deobandi tradition. This connection created a strong bond between
Oh,
Afghanistan
wow,
and
I didn't
India,
know that.
as Afghan Pashtuns saw Deoband India as their ideological home. Now, let's fast forward to the 20th century. When India and Pakistan were partitioned in 1947, the Deobandi movement split. In India, Deobandis accepted the Indian constitution and focused on education and ethics. But in Pakistan, a new madrasa, Darul Uloom Haqqaniya, faced an identity crisis. It lacked the clarity of Indian Deoband and struggled to define its purpose. This crisis worsened in the 1970s when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. The United States, eager to counter the Soviets, turned to Pakistan and Saudi Arabia for help. They poured money, weapons, and ideas into Pakistan, aiming to train Afghan fighters, mostly Pashtun Deobandis, to fight the Soviets. Here's where things took a dark turn. Saudi Arabia brought its Wahhabi ideology, a rigid and extreme version of Islam that rejects other Islamic traditions, like Sufism or Deobandism. Pakistan's Haqqaniya Madrasa, desperate for an identity, adopted this Wahhabi influence, creating a hybrid Wahhabi-Deobandi ideology. This hybrid was violent and radical, unlike the introspective Indian Deobandi tradition. When Mullah Omar's Taliban rose to power in 1996, it was heavily influenced by this Haqqaniya Wahhabi blend, leading to a brutal and rigid rule in Afghanistan until 2001. After the 9/11 attacks in 2001, the US ousted the Taliban and India saw an opportunity. Through its intelligence agency RAW, India quietly worked to revive the original Indian Deobandi tradition in Afghanistan. While the US and its allies focused on military control, India invested in Afghanistan's future. Between 2001 and 2021, India built schools, hospitals, roads, and even the Afghan parliament building, spending over $3 billion on development projects. Indian engineers and workers trained Afghans, shared expertise, and showed goodwill. Unlike other countries, India didn't exploit Afghanistan's resources or demand repayment. This generosity won hearts. More importantly, India supported Afghan Deobandis who rejected the Wahhabi Haqqaniya ideology. RAW facilitated secret visits by Afghan scholars to the Deoband Madrasa, where they studied the original, moderate Deobandi teachings. These scholars spread ideas of peace, ethics, and cultural pride, countering the violent Wahhabi influence. When the Taliban returned to power in 2021, it was a different Taliban, not Mullah Omar's radical group, but one rooted in the Indian Deobandi tradition. This Taliban 2.0 was pro-India.
Different kind of Taliban from what we saw in the late 90s, Taliban 2.0, Stanikzai talking about relations with India.
Valuing the ideological and cultural ties nurtured over decades.
2.0,
Today,
bro.
this bond
Honestly.
is stronger than ever. India trains Afghan soldiers, provides military equipment, and supports Afghanistan's economy. Afghans show their love in small but meaningful ways, like not charging Indian travelers for services, a gesture of gratitude. The Taliban has also made it clear to Pakistan, we won't let our land be used for terrorism against India. This stance reflects their trust in India, built on years of support and shared ideology. When the Afghan foreign minister visited Deoband in 2025, it wasn't just a trip. It was a bold statement that Afghanistan's future lies with India's moderate, inclusive vision, not Pakistan's radical past. Now, let's turn to why the Taliban harbors deep resentment toward Pakistan. Taliban harbors deep resentment toward Pakistan due to betrayal,
let's check that.
racism, and destruction over decades.
Yaqub has said that Pakistan has been making wrong narratives.
If we are talking about racism that hurts Afghans badly, during the Soviet-Afghan War, 1979 to 1989, millions of Afghans fled to Pakistan as refugees. Instead of a warm welcome, they faced hostility. Pakistani people and authorities treated them as second-class citizens. Afghans, especially Pashtuns, were mocked and forced into poor camps. Even today, they face harassment and forced deportations. This discrimination has made Afghans, including the Taliban, distrust Pakistan completely. Second, Pakistan radicalized Afghanistan. When the Soviets invaded in 1979, Pakistan's ISY trained Afghan students in madrasas with US and Saudi help. They mixed rigid Wahhabi ideas into Deobandi teachings. Mullah Omar's Taliban in 1996 followed this harsh ideology. Pakistan used them as a puppet to control Afghanistan and fight India. The Taliban's brutal rule, oppressing women and destroying Bamiyan Buddhas, shocked traditional Pashtuns who loved Sufi and original Deobandi ways. They felt betrayed by Pakistan's foreign influence. Third, the Durand Line causes anger. This 1893 British border splits Pashtun lands. Afghanistan never accepts it. Pashtuns see themselves as one people. Pakistan tries to control Afghan Pashtuns and use them against India. The Taliban hates this interference in their tribal affairs and sovereignty. Finally, after 2021, Pakistan expected the new Taliban as allies. But the modern Taliban, shaped by Indian Deobandi ideas, rejected them. Afghanistan cancelled cricket matches with Pakistan and refused to allow anti-India terrorism from its soil.
The Afghanistani Cricketing Board has cancelled the tri-series with Pakistan.
This was a clear snub. Pakistan invested
that's
decades
pretty
but
cool.
got sidelined.
It's all about peace.
The Taliban sees Pakistan as a betrayer who fueled violence while India built trust with help and education. So, what do you think? Why does Afghanistan have strained relations with Pakistan despite being part of the same ummah? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For more such videos, please subscribe to our channel.
I'm gonna put the link down below so that you guys can check the the video. The video, like his channel, is pretty good, a lot of content. But yeah, I think basically what we can talk about when it comes to this is it's always good to strengthen relationships between countries, because at the end of the day, if I have issues, I would want you to come and help me. But if I cannot trust you, then obviously at the end of the day, I won't come to you for help. I won't have any treaty between our countries. We won't even have do anything that benefits the both of us, because I cannot trust you. If at some point I have issues in my country and I need some help and you don't help me when I'm in need, so when I'm okay and everything is working well, I'm not going to come to you for help as well. That's basically what happens when it comes to these countries' treaties and how they become friends, and help each other when it comes to economy and even this what this what we used to call barter trade back then. Like trading, I give you something, you give me something, even if it's influenced by the Indian Taliban from back then. That the teachings and the ideologies. You can see that one of the major reasons for that as well is because they can fully trust and they know that India probably has their back. So at the end of the day, they would rather move closer to India than to a country that doesn't really know where it's standing. Basically, that's what I think. Like basically from this, that's what it's showing. But anyways, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Tell me in the comment section. And I'll be sure to check it out. Take care. Peace.